if I told you that you could take Fannie Mae's recent projections of the housing market through 2026 and apply them to prepare yourself as a real estate agent for 2025? And it's something you need to do right now. Well, that's exactly what we're going to do in today's video. I've got Fannie Mae's projections right here to share with you and how you can use this information to crush it in 2025. I'm Ricky Carruth, and this is your Wednesday Real Estate Update. Hey, what's up? Hope you're doing super well today, and thank you so much for tuning in. Let's dive right in here. The U.S. home prices expected to slow further than previously forecast next year and in 2026, according to Fannie Mae. Their latest home price expectations survey, it was released this past Thursday. The average home prices are expected to slow by 3.8% in 2025 and 3.6% the following year. So if we look at this chart here, they've got 2024 growth is 5.2%, 2025 is 3.8%. So still an increase, but not as much as 2024. So they think that it's going to stay a little flat, little positive. 2026, about the same growth as 2025 when it comes to home prices. Now, I found this chart very interesting. It's basically, this is the point right here that we are, and these are the three potential outcomes through 2029. So if you look at this chart, assuming that 2023 is the 0 point of all this, the red at the bottom is the more pessimistic outlook. The middle is kind of the median of what everybody's thinking is going to happen when it comes to this, the panel of Fannie Mae. And then this blue line at the top is the most optimistic. And this is through 2029. So from 2023 to 2029, on the low side, they've got home prices jumping up 14% total over the course of the 6 years, it looks like. And median is 27%. So right around the 30% mark. That's a total over all 6 years. And on the high end, you're looking at 40%. Okay. So that's I thought that was interesting. I found that little chart, and it's like, okay, you know, if you're strategizing an investment portfolio of real estate, you know, this is very interesting. This chart here is where they have kind of like the breakdown of a few different things that they project here. Total housing starts, they break that up with single family and multifamily. Total home sales, they break that up with single family, new construction, and existing home sales. And if you look closely, you'll see that the housing starts in 2024 was down 5%. They've got it down another 1.4% next year. And that's true as well with, you know, when you look at just the single family homes. So it's crazy to think about the fact that while the optimism going into new homes and the new home market and everything, that Fannie Mae actually has the housing starts to be projected downward. Okay. And then if you look at the next year, they've got 7.6% jump in total housing starts. We had a decline in 23, had a decline in 24, had a decline in 25. They've got us at a jump in 2026 at a 7.6% increase in 2026. So it's like next year it's going to kind of stay flat when it comes to the number of housing starts. Total housing starts around 1.3 million. And then that's going to jump up into the 1.4 million range the next year. That's optimistic for 2026. Basically, what I'm seeing here across the board, when you look at home prices, what they're talking about, home starts, is that we're going to have kind of another kind of sluggish year. This is what I've been talking about. And like, I expect that to continue. And so when I'm talking to real estate agents, I'm telling them, I'm like, get used to this market. Is it going to turn around? Yes. But we're not out of the woods yet when it comes to this. The real estate market is a very slow moving market. It takes a while for things to kind of, you know, for the cycles to kind of play themselves out. And I've been through these cycles many, many, many times over the last 24 years. And I'm here to tell you that, yeah, we're going to come out of it, but we're here for a little while longer. So what am I telling agents to do? Stack listings to the moon. Why? Because you actually can right now. And guess what? Deals are still selling. So when we go back to the chart and look at total home sales, this is combining new construction and existing. Okay, total home sales in 23, 4.7 million. That's total new and existing. Okay, this year it's basically flat. Okay, 4.7. Next year they're expecting it to be 4.9, but then the following year, look here, 5.6. So not only do they expect a jump in housing starts, but they expect a jump in home sales. We are going to see a jump next year. And if you look at existing home sales, we're at 4 million last year. We're about 4 million this year, right? They've got to jump up to just about 4.2 million next year. But then we're looking at 4.8 million. And this, again, is exactly what I've been saying, is that it's going to take a couple of years to get back to that 5 million existing home sales year. That's kind of getting back to normal, that 4.8 to 5.2 around in there. It's going to take 2 years, right? 2026, they're projecting to get back to 4.8 million. So this is what I've been talking about. It's going to take time to kind of rebound and move back up. Next year, I was expecting to be around 4.4. They're expecting to be around 4.2. So I'm a little high on what my projection is for next year, according to Fannie Mae. But I said that next year was going to be about 4.8. That's exactly what they have. And so when I'm thinking about this as a real estate agent, I'm just licking my chops, because here is the truth of the matter, is that if you treat 2023 and 2024 as your 2008, and you realize what happened to me in my career when 2008 came along, it took me from 2008 to 2014 was the first year I did 100 deals. That when I was hitting 40 and 50 and 60 deals, those were great years, right? I was making $300,000, $400,000, $600,000 dollars a year. Those were great years. Okay. It wasn't the million mark yet, but everything stemmed from 2008, and I rode that market up. The market didn't just jump up. It took it a while to kind of play out and stair step every single year. And that's what you do. You take advantage of the market while it's down. You stack listings, you stack relationships, and as the market comes back, your business just starts to multiply itself. If you look at consumer confidence, now this is very interesting. It increased 0.4 points in November. That's not a whole lot. Continuing its upward trend. It's a sharp upward trend over the past year. Consumers appear to be acclimated to higher mortgage rates and home price environments. You hit a new record with share of consumers indicating that they expect mortgage rates to decline over the next 12 months, with fewer respondents saying they expect home prices will rise, while only 23% believe it's a good time to buy a home. On net, that component continues its upward trend. Okay, so it seems like a jump in confidence driven largely by increased optimism that mortgage rates will fall. And my question is, what happens if mortgage rates don't fall that much? Will that optimism go away? Because this optimism seems like it's kind of riding on the fact that they're expecting mortgage rates to come down, but I think that they're going to come down. But if you look at all the forecasts, it still seems like everybody's kind of above 6% when it comes to the forecasting. If you look at Fannie Mae, they've got the 30-year fixed mortgage rate here. 6.8 in 2003, 6.7 this year was going to be the average. Next year, they've got 6.4. So it's not like we're dipping down a whole point. And then the year after that, 2026, we're at 6.1. This is their projection. And the thing is I believe this projection. I think this is the way it's going to be. Why? Because if they reduce mortgage rates, like considerably, it's going to be 2021 all over again. And that's not what we don't want, right? We want a healthy market. We want a balanced market. We don't want prices to shoot through the roof again. We want wage growth to try to catch up to this housing affordability issue that we have going on. If we reduce rates by too much, then that's going to throw all that out of whack. The facts are that there's a lot of pent-up demand on the sideline. People want to buy homes, trade-up sellers, first-time home buyers, and we have more first-time home buyers than we've had in decades due to the birth rates jumping up, spiking up back in the 90s. So we've got more people that are 30-something now than we've had in decades, and that's the median first-time home buyer age. And what's interesting about the first-time home buyer age is that has shot up. It was 33, 34. Now it's like 36, 37, 38. That's where it's went over the past year or two. And I think that has to do with the fact that it takes a little longer to afford a house in today's world because they do cost more, because the price of homes have went up way faster than wage growth. What you really need to pay attention to is mortgage payments to wage growth. That's what actually matters. Everybody talks about home prices jumping way up and wage growth only jumping up this much. Well, you're not buying the whole house. You're borrowing money to buy the house. And really, you need to look at mortgage payment growth versus wage growth. And what we need to do is try to get that on the same page. But nevertheless, this is where I am on the whole thing. We're here to stay for a little while. What you should be doing as a real estate agent is not like sitting around waiting on the market to change. You shouldn't be thinking that, oh, next year things are going to be different. I can change my whole strategy. No. Right now in December, you should be looking at what the market is right now, and you should be adjusting your systems and your business model and your business and your terminology and your schedule and routine and everything that you do. You should be focusing on acclimating it to the market that's right in front of you and optimizing it to crush it more than you've ever crushed it before. Okay, if you do that, then as the market rebounds, your business will explode. That's what I did back in 2008. I acclimated my business to the growth of the market at the time, and then as time went on and the market got better, guess what? My business exploded. These things take time. You're not going to see things just blow up overnight. It's going to take years for this thing to happen, but those years are going to go by regardless. Go all in right now and maximize how many deals you can close now. That way you maximize the amount of money and the impact that you make and the amount of people that you have now. And then as you do that, your database grows. You do the weekly email. Next thing you know, you turn around. It's like, how am I doing 100 deals a year and making 7, 8, $1 million a year? How did this happen? How am I the number 1, number 2, number 3, top 10 agent in my entire MLS? How did this happen? I'll tell you how it happened. You listen to old Rick and you got on your grind back when things were slow and your business started to multiply. I hope this video helps you. Here's another one for you to get you going. I'll see you guys on the next video. Keep selling.